Awesome. Okay, so we're going to be going through setting up branded search, and I've got Cairo Dominance volunteering as tribute for us as we're going through. This is actually great because if you start, if I open a new tab, and if I was just trying to go to like ads.google.com is where you want to go. And then you're going to click on like start now. Make sure that you're in the correct account. You may get something like this. If you see in the top in the browser here, it says Express. They're trying to get you as quickly as possible to give Google money, which is okay. And it's totally fine. But I'm going to tell you, if that's what you're seeing here, we just got to go with it. There's no way around it. We're going to go with it the first time, but I'm going to ultimately walk you through a better, more robust setup because it's helpful to understand Google is amazing. It's great, but their goal is to get you to spend as much money as possible with them. And so that means some of the recommendations we're going to ignore because we want to actually spend as little money as possible, because what we're doing here is branded search. This is just making sure that when people search our brand, we control and rock and show up for them. So if you have an account that's connected with the GBP, Google Business Profile, they may say, hey, just connect to your business profile. We, like I said, this doesn't actually matter because we're just getting through the steps. So
oh, we get the wrong place.
Yeah, we're in the wrong place. We're connected.
It's one of our clients,
a different client here. So we're going to say, no, we're not doing that. So we're going to put in, should have known that. So cardowns.com, right? There's no way to skip around it and get through it. All it's saying is like, I have to choose one of these two. And so it's fine. We're doing Express setup. We're just going to go through it and get it connected, especially if it's the first time that you've ever done this. We're going to keep going. Next. And it's like, well, what do I want? More calls? I don't want calls. I want leads. I want people to go onto my website, which is fine. Like I said, the first time you're going through this, you're kind of just getting through it. So we're going to ignore. I don't care. We're going to skip. Ultimately, those are good things to do, but we don't care about that for right now, right? Write my ad. It's fine. It thinks I'm a chiropractor. I'm not a chiropractor. I'm a chiropractic marketer, right? Okay. Is it still thinking I'm like one of these other clients? So we're like, this doesn't even really matter because we're not going to use this campaign. What is the issue? Oh, too many characters. So right. You'll see when I get through it, but we're just trying to get into having a Google Ads account. Don't want a call button. Don't call. Like, I just want the least amount of info as possible. Let this work and get through it. You see in like this Express or Smart Mode campaign, all I get to choose is themes of keywords. They're trying to make me as generic as possible to spend as much money as possible, right? We don't care about it. That's fine. Right now, it still thinks I'm a chiropractor. I'm going to suspect that there's a possibility. Like, it also thinks I'm in the Philippines. That's fine. It doesn't matter. We're just going to get through it. Cool. Looks fine. Looks good. We're instantly going to turn this off. Okay. This is a bummer. But it's asking me to like, it's got some promotion on here because it thinks my country is the Philippines, which it's not. I got to go through and add a payment method over here. Okay. Let's make sure the country is correct. United States. Cool. My promotion works. My billing method is now set. We're going to hit submit. It's not charging me anything because Google is very nice in the sense it is cost per performance. Okay, cool. We've made it here. It says, congrats, you're all done. Really, you're just getting started, but they do this method because they just dumb it down, right? And they call it smart mode. What we want is expert mode. So once you're in here, you got it. You got through. It doesn't really matter. We're going to change settings. We're going to go over. We're going to switch to expert mode. Now, when we're in expert mode, now we can do things that are actually smart for us. And so that's ultimately where we want to get to, is a screen that looks like this. If you logged in and this is where you already look, if this is what you saw, you're fine. You're good. You get to kind of continue from this point over, and I might even break it up this account to show the difference here. Right now, we're having this weird thing where it's calculating it in Philippines. It's probably because Dar has some VAs that run some tasks for him. Totally fine. You might have the same thing going on if you got any overseas VAs. But if I look at my campaigns, right, it's going to say I've got, and Google's loves these tours, so I have to go through it. Cool. Thank you for the tour. No, it was not. I've got all my campaigns and smart campaigns, right? The smart campaigns, those are the ones that are actually dumb campaigns. We don't want any smart campaigns. That might be useful in like a small handful of situations, but for especially those of us that are running online businesses, smart campaigns are just dumb. So we want the all campaigns view. And then in here, when I look at my overview, I should have the campaign I just set up. So let's go select a campaign. And there's that one that we created. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn this off. It's still only pending, but I'm going to remove this campaign. We don't want it. It was useless. It, I skimmed through it. I didn't care. Something else. It's fine. How satisfied I am. You know, I'm somewhat satisfied. You guys do a decent job. That's all I'm going to give you. Oh my gosh. Moderately, they are soliciting hard some feedback. It was middle of the ground. I definitely plan on advertising with Google. Please don't reach out to me. Google's job is to make money. So they are going to reach out and try and get you to spend as much money as possible. We did it. Thank you. They don't make it clear of how to leave. Cool. None of your ads are running because we don't have any campaigns. That's appropriate. We're going back. And what are we going to do? We don't want any smart campaigns. So we're going to come back here. I don't want any smart campaigns. Go to all campaigns. Come on back to all campaigns. Bold and paused. Just care about that. Show me all. Cool. Here's where I want to be and be able to see there's other ways where we can change the cost of it. It doesn't really matter, but we want to do that blue button, new campaign. Depending on the size of your screen, it might show just a blue plus sign on it. Here's what we want to see in terms of creating our campaign. And our focus for branded is just traffic. That's all we want. We want traffic. I'm not even going to worry about conversion goals right now. All these guides, I'm just going to exit out of it. I want traffic. It says, you know, okay, we got some conversion goals like a contact. We can do that later. It's not critical to just getting started because what you'll see is having this will lead you to win without having to get too fancy with it. We're going to just focus on search in terms of how we're doing it. We are going to give it our website because it'll do some reasonable prompts from here. IRO.
Do we have to do the www?
You don't have to.
Okay.
It's just going to scan. I believe it'll work either way if you use the HTTPS or not.
Okay.
Or www or not. I'm just trying to clear this. What do I name it? I name it branded. This is only in your account. So you don't need to name it something other than, what it's going to be specifically. Look at all these guides I have to exit out of. Okay. So our focus is clicks. We just want clicks and I want to pay the smallest amount per click, right? That's what we're doing. These are folks that already know you exist. And what we find is branded search is really great for what I call like leakage and overflow. I don't know what the minimum amount it'll let me do it, but now I'm in Philippines dollars. So this is probably less. I don't know what this converts to. Like I'm bidding, fractions of a penny now. I want to get as specific as possible because this is search. I think I'm fine with search partners. A lot of times I'll turn both of these off because I want to be as controlled as possible. Remember, Google wants you to spend as much as possible. So because this is search, I'm okay to include search partners, right? I don't care if someone searches Cairo dominance and DuckDuckGo. I'm cool with that. If you want to be really strict, I'll make it just Google. Here's the risk reward of using other partners or their display network, other people outside of the network. Sometimes they'll abuse Google's policies. We've seen this, like they'll use bot traffic for clicks because they make money when people click on ads in their network. And so they kind of do funky stuff. And so if you want to be the most conservative, you can turn off all of this extra stuff, right? This is meaning it's just going to be on google.com. It's not including other partners, and it's definitely not using display network. I'll show you that. I'm going to go conservative now because it's, well, no harm, no foul, right? Worst case scenario, I put this campaign out there. No one searches for my brand. I spend $0, right? You don't want to set up a loosey-goosey campaign so that by accident, you're like, wait a second, I accidentally spent, thousands of dollars and it wasn't actually traffic that I wanted. Okay, I'm trying to click on, there we go. Location options. Here is one of those kind of fancy dancy things that they do that you got to be aware of. Under location, you think I chose United States or even US and Canada. I'd even say like, I'm fine with Canada. No harm. Like I got nothing against Canada. And they could be ideal customers. It does introduce a little bit of complexity for language stuff because they have a pretty good sizable portion of their population speaks French. But what I want to toggle open here is location options. By default, they set it to they call it presence or interest, meaning people regularly in, or anyone who has shown interest in your targeted location. They recommend this. Why? Because they actually want to trick you into advertising the entire world. Why? Because then you will spend as much money as possible, which is what Google wanted you to do, right? I don't like that. I like to just say people who are in the country, because you know who's interested in the United States? The entire world. And so if you leave it as the top option, presence or interest, you'll ask yourself, why am I getting clicks from, Nigeria? It's like, I don't have any customers from Nigeria. Why am I getting clicks from over there? Well, it's because you had in or interested in. And so we want to go to that second option there. We could add French. I'm going to keep it to English because we don't have a translated version of Chiro Dominance. And that's about it. We don't need to get fancy with anything else. Thank you, Google, for another guide. Please leave. Okay. In terms of suggestions, here's what we're doing. With branded search, all I want to do is get as specific as possible. And so the dominance, you want to make sure it's spelled out right. Dominance. I'm going to do bracketed, which means it's strict, means it only shows exactly, wow, just type it, exactly what I've typed. Dominance. Because I'm willing to take the risk here, and I'm doing it for DAR. Why is this not working? The option, you've got strict, which means it only shows in there. You've got phrase, which is like anyone who uses this phrase. This would include anyone who searches Chiro Dominance. It also would include someone if they searched Chiro Dominance reviews or is Chiro Dominance good, right? And so because my brand name is not generic, not a lot of folks are just searching Chiro Dominance, for in a, loose sense of it or in a wide meaning sense of it. I'm actually thinking this will be fine. It will still fall under the category of branded. If you want to set up non-branded search, do that in a different campaign. That's not what this campaign is about. So that's, that's what I would do over here. The other thing you could do is the actual, your actual URL. You'd be surprised how many folks go to search and search the website. Right? They're like going for it and they just go to Google and they actually just search the website. I don't know if it's because of the screen control here or what it is, but we're going to try this again. ChiroDominance.com, right? Bracket. So I've got those three set up. We're not looking for a lot of volume here, right? We just want to make sure we've got stuff that works. Here's what they're giving me options for. They are going for non-strict, which is where there's no brackets or quotes around it, right? That's broad match. Here's why I don't want to do that, especially for the brand Chiro Dominance. One of his words is Chiro. Do you think there's a lot of searches that include the word Chiro that don't apply to what we're trying to set up here? Absolutely there are, right? And so if I typed in Chiro Dominance under a broad match, that means any one of the words in the phrase on any possible phrase would trigger showing this ad. That means someone could search best school to become a Chiro and you'd have this ad show up. Like, we don't want to run ads for best school to become a Chiro because someone might think that Chiro Dominance is how to be a great chiropractor. Like that's not who we're going after. And so, ultimately, this is, the correct path and also what we're looking for. In terms of headlines, the 3 things that I'm thinking about is your own brand, reinforcing that. Dara, does Kyra Dominance have a space or no space?
It has a space when it's not being used online. So yes.
Okay. Well, we're gonna let it go here. So Kyra Dominance, this is top rated messaging. Oops, spell this right. App. So I'm thinking of like brand is a no-brainer headline, like reinforce your brand. Authority, if you can use something like top rated, or let's do top, not rating. And we could do, and I have more characters here, so I might say like for Kairos. We could do something like
it's actually HIPAA.
I thought it was like HIPAA with an A. Now, okay, so we got HIPAA compliant.
Is that right?
The other things I might go, like takes, so only 30 minutes to set up, right? Something that goes around with like time value of the setup here, and show up. Increase search ability, beautiful. Oops. Website. I got a handful of options here. These are folks that are searching for your brand. So in terms of headlines, like if it's stuff that kind of relates to how you put yourself out there in terms of like messaging out of competitive differentiation, like those are all going to be winning possibilities there. We don't have to think it through, that we don't have to think through it a lot. We need 2 descriptions. These are a little bit longer form. And so, so I'll go a little bit more direct. So stop being best kept secret. Cairo, dominance can repair your reputation and visibility in days. And we're going to spell visibility correctly, right? So there's one option of it. Oh, value too long. I went too long. Got extra, so we'll do this 30 days. And I love this. With anything that's recurring, it's a monthly thing. Why not say you're going to do it in 30 days or less? Oh, or le. We'll get rid of that. Okay, get rid of 2 characters. This space. And actually, we already say the brand in it, right? So it's like repair your visibility and reputation. Hey, look at that. Stop being a best kept secret, repair your visibility and reputation in 30 days or less. Top rated by NNATE. These are specific to your integration, but like other partners that we got, referral partners.
Sure.
And these are EHR. Users.
You could even throw in
Got another one?
Cairo Touch if you want.
Yeah, we'll do Cairo Touch. It just works. And probably Genesis is probably the bigger one. Okay. So site links, call outs, these are cool things to do. We're not going to worry about it, right? The whole idea here is getting branded search done quickly. And so those are the critical things, right? In terms of if you want to these are just a couple ideas that you could use and model, but for creativity, I'm thinking through how does it align with the value props that we have? How does it add value in terms of like other areas? Like, is there a time? Is there a status? Is there social proof along with it? And then it just reinforces my brand, right? So now it's, if someone searches Chiro Dominance, here it's going to pull up Chiro Dominance, top rated SMS app. What I didn't do for the ads, which I might come back and do because I just want to get this live, is then think through what I want to do for the page that they're going to. The real value add here is you don't have to send these customers to your homepage. I'm just getting this live. You get it live to your homepage, totally fine. I can come back and change the page that they go to so that it isn't just my homepage. I can guide them to a page that's really well designed to highly convert, to gather their information, because that's what I want at this point. Because they may have already seen my Facebook ad. Now I want to hit them with something that makes it feel like a no-brainer to give me their contact information. And so, yeah, so we've got, I'm doing math here. The last piece that I was doing there, as I was talking about, is like the budget per day. You don't have to worry about this. We've already set a budget per click, right? The reality is, in most situations for branded search, you're not going to get close to your budget per day, but Google asks for those two things. Well, minimum one, you can give them a budget per day. They're going to elongate it out to a budget per month. So if one day you spend $1, but you said I was willing to spend $100 per day, the next day you can spend $199, right? That's how they're doing it. They ask you for a budget per day and they kind of elongate it out to your budget per month. But because we put in a budget per conversion or a budget per success, which we're calling a click, that's actually the real constraint. They will never go above that constraint on there. So right now, the key thing was branded search. I got to do some math for Dar, but like this is probably fine because they let me what I would say, like they let me put in the other price per click. Here's a cool thing. For most branded search, they're going to freak out. You know why they're going to freak out? Because you have barely any traffic. You may have no one searching your brand right now. And so they will say stuff like the alerts I'm getting right now, because Google wants to make money. They're basically saying, right, no traffic expected. Because the keywords you gave me, Google's saying the keywords you gave me are going to do like barely any traffic. And so they're saying this is a critical issue. You need to fix it. If you go through the line of trying to fix this, you know what it'll say? It'll say, instead of running for just Chiro Dominance, you should run for chiropractors. And instead of just searching in the US, you should search for the world. And that's not what we want to do. That would cause me to spend a lot of money, but not get what I wanted. I only wanted branded search. And so even though they're making it seem like it's an issue, there's no traffic expected. You're like, I don't care, Google. I wanted a little bit of traffic. So they do this, right? It's like your campaign cannot run ads with missing information. Watch me now. Success. We got it running, and all we had to do is just ignore the warning sign. So I told you at the beginning, Google's job is to get you to spend as much money as possible. It has these alerts which make you feel like something's wrong. I'm like, we're green. We're green, good to go, right?
And we're even doing it in pesos.
Yeah, I don't know if it's pesos. I don't know what the Philippine currency is. I think, Dart, you might have to adjust that a little bit because there are minimum thresholds. For most folks in the US, we're going to want to spend about 50 cents per click. 50 cents to $1 is basically as low as they'll even entertain having an ad right now. We could go over here and come back and search Chiro Dominance. It might actually be pending. That happens as well. Like there is a little bit of like an approval process. Check it out. You guys see this? You guys didn't know it beforehand, but like there was no campaign. Literally no campaign. We just ran it, like instantly put it out there. Dar, please don't run up his bill, but he's paying, I don't know what 0.5 Philippine pesos is, converts out to, but like that's probably fractions of a penny. And they're letting him run ads to guarantee that when someone finds him, like it drives to the ideal spot right now, just out of the box. And all we had to do was turn that on. Ironically, I think this might actually be the Smart campaign that's running right now.
Yeah, that's the one that I did, I think, the other day.
Okay, so maybe this is a different campaign than what we're seeing, but that's how simple it is, and it works. I was going to be really impressed. I was like, man, this is working already. But we just searched before we started here and you didn't have anything working. So I don't know if it's a combination of us kicking a lie, but those are the key things I'd be thinking about for running branded search. You know, you got to go through the SMART campaign, basically ignore it, then turn it off, go through the steps we just went through. And you know, now you have a branded campaign running. You see it up the top, like this is the campaign, it's branded. If you're like, I want to run another campaign, or I want to get risky and start to run some Google paid traffic for when someone searches chiropractor marketing, totally fine. Come back over to our overview. You can come back to the campaign. You can actually clone this entire campaign and just change out those keywords. But I might call it something different. Like, right, you know, I might go after a city, or I might go after, you know, a whole country, or a different type of thing that, you know, your niche or your audience might be facing. So that's what we got going on. And hopefully that was helpful in terms of setting up branded search.